Hey, so hope watching these videos have made you think a bit about your life. Maybe you're even asking, how can I have my own hope story? Well, here are 4 questions maybe worth considering and 4 answers that'll give you hope. First, what's the point? You ever considered that? What's the point of life? Is it to be successful? Does it have fun? Does it make a difference? But how we answer that changes how we live. So when life is about me, we spend it on living our own desires. Right? We look for joy in relationships or feelings, in people or in a buzz. But the Bible tells us life's not about me, it's about God. We've been created by a good and holy God, so we find meaning and joy by knowing and obeying Him. You see, He's not an evil dictator, He's not a selfish manager or an abusive dad. He's a kind king, a caring boss, a loving father. And knowing and obeying God is the secret to joy. Knowing and obeying God is the secret to life. Second question though, what's the problem? What's going on? We usually think the problem in our life is our past or our present circumstances, don't we? So if only this hadn't happened, if only this would change, then things would be better. And many of us have had brutal circumstances, there's no doubt in that. But the Bible tells us actually our problem is much deeper than our circumstances. And actually, in fact, it says that we are our own worst enemies. You see, we reject God as our kind king, caring boss, and loving father. Right? We tell God to do one because we think we are the boss. We know what's best, right? We know what we need to be happy, and so we're not going to listen to or obey anyone else. The Bible calls that sin. And sin has ruined everything. Right? It's broken God's perfect world. And it's brought despair and death to each one of our lives. But we've told God to do one, and so in part, He's went. He's let us live life our way, and yet soon we realise that sin doesn't satisfy. My way always disappoints. And what's worse, one day we will face this good and holy God as judge. Because we've rebelled against Him, He'll treat us as rebels. Because we've broken His law, He'll punish us as lawbreakers. Because we've told Him where to go, He'll remove His goodness forever. And if we think things are bad now, well, that will be hell for eternity. And it's on us. Our sin is the problem. But third then, what's the solution? Right, so far it's all been pretty bad news, but there is good news to give hope. For although we run from God, He ran to us. God was born in the person of Jesus to enter His broken creation. He lived life as we should live it, in perfect relationship with and obedience to God. But on the cross, Jesus died a sinner's death, a death He didn't deserve. Right? He took hell for His people, He was punished in their place. And yet Jesus didn't stay dead. On the 3rd day, He rose, for the sin that holds us couldn't hold Him. He defeated sin, death and hell, and He now reigns from His Father's side in heaven. That means that Jesus is how we can have our relationship to God restored. Nothing else can deal with that problem. Nothing else can give us lasting joy. Jesus, and only Jesus, is the solution. But fourth then, what's it to me? Right, what's it to do with me? Well, today Jesus is still at work by His Spirit to bring His people to find hope in Him. Right, that means if you realise there's nothing you can do to save yourself, right, if you admit you are a rebel who's rejected God's loving care, if you believe He died for you, taking the punishment you deserve, if you stop living for sin and start living for Jesus, then you can know hope. And Jesus promises then to change us from the inside out by His Spirit. He promises to give us a new family, His church, so together we can live to know Jesus and make Jesus known. So if you want to have your own hope story, then we urge you, just stop rejecting God and start trusting Him. Right? Turn from your sin and turn to Jesus. And even if you do that right now, right, if you ask Him to save you, He will. And then we'd love to walk alongside you, to help you come into God's family and live life together with our church. So get in touch and have your own My Hope story. Thanks, guys.